Did you know that ancient Irish law had a section for cats? Well, Dag the Agus Fáilte. Hi, hello, and welcome. Jon O'Sullivan from the Irish Pagan School. And this is something that I kind of knew a little bit about, but I learned a lot more in detail from a recent class we had at the Irish Pagan School. The amazing Dr. Gillian Kenny joined us again to teach a class on animals in Irish history and myth. And in here, I learned more about what's known from Senchas Már, which is this big body collected works of the laws, the ancient laws of Ireland. There's an entire section known as the Catslechta, the cat section, which is dedicated to the legal recognition of various types of cats, the purpose of cats, the role of cats, the value of cats. And it's absolutely fascinating to know about all of those things. So, without getting into the entirety of the class, there was one thing I really, really thought I would share with you, and that is a quick slide here from the class itself, and it is the types of cats as recognized by Catslechta, the cat sections of ancient Irish lore. Law, not lore. Um, so what's really fascinating about this is, and this is a slide from the presentation I recommend if people are interested about the importance of the role of animals to Irish culture and history, and indeed myth, some of the weirder or monstrous mythical creatures are covered as well. Do go and pick up the class. I'll probably put a link to the class below. But there are different types of cats, and the cats aren't recognized by their breed or their coloration. They are recognized by their purpose and their behavior. And so we have some imagery here that's been presented, but the words on the screen, the words under those images, are actual terms from the ancient Irish law, and they essentially it is this behavior that you would see in your cat, and it was believed then that you should kind of name your cat after that behavior. And so the first one there is the Ameone, and the Ameone was said to be a mighty cat, which was known for its vocal talents. So if you have a cat who is an absolute meowler, then essentially he's recognized in Irish law as an Ameone. One of the other more interesting ones is the next one, which is the Abaircne. The Abaircne cat is one who is said to be a hunter of vermin, a hunter of rodents, specifically outside of the home, in your barn or on your farm. So if you have a farm or barn and a cat that covers and protects those areas, it is recognized and maybe should be named an Abaircne. The one that I really wanted to touch on is down below on the bottom right. It's known as an Abaircne, and the Abaircne was a cat specifically for his relationship to women. Known, and this one is about the coloration. They're a black cat, and they would have a vest or a chest which was white, and they were known for their mighty strength and their protective nature when it came to relationships with women. And then the other one is the Folum there. The Folum in the middle of the bottom is a cat to be kept with herds. So if you had your herds or your cattle anywhere at all, and you had a cat that was most home, not in the house or not around the people, but at home amongst the herds, then it was in fact a Folum. So there are a number of other ones here. I won't go into all of them. As I said, it is really, really fascinating and worth looking into and popping over to the class itself to pick up more information. But the idea that cats have always formed some part of relationship and connection with Irish culture and Irish society is fascinating, even though cats weren't introduced until about 2000 years ago. There weren't native cat species in Ireland. And one of the greater things that we see throughout the history of Irish culture as we move forward through the time is the interaction and integration of cats with our people. All of these vast manuscripts, all of these leather like bound vellum scribed things like the Book of Kells, Book of Ballymote, all of these things were done by monks, and monks again kept cats. One of the most famous examples of which is an illuminated manuscript. I think it's from the Book of Leinster. It is covered actually in the class, and it's a poem. It's a poem dedicated to a cat. So an ancient Irish monk, which we don't know, it's unattributed. We don't know who it was, wrote down an entire poem, Os Gaeilge, to his pet cat known as Pangur Bán. And it is one of the more famous like stories that we have from our medieval period. And it is talking about the the view as this monk observes his cat, his Pangur Bán, the white Pangur, and how it goes about its day. And so it's this lovely ode to cats. And so as much as we have iconography, the cultures, ancient cultures associated with cats, they are actually important to Irish people as well from our history and from our mythology. So, as I said, if you are a cat person, if you're not a cat person, if you're in any way an animal lover, there is a lot to be found in the information in that class, which is the animals of of Irish history and myth. So it's not even ancient. We are talking about medieval history as well, but understanding the reverence and the relationship and even the legal recognition of various animals and their purposes within tribes, within society is absolutely fascinating to know more, and I was delighted to be able to sit in on that class and learn more myself. So, if you would like to know more, all you got to do is go to irishpagan.school/free to pick up anything free, a year's worth of free learning, more information, more kind of reading, recommendations lists, more videos, podcasts. We even have full free classes there as well if you'd like to get started. Or, as I said, I'll pop in the link if you want to dive straight into that class about animals in Irish history and myth with Dr. Gillian Kenny. Until next time, look after yourself, take care. Agus Slán. Goodbye.